Hello and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about markdown and a little trick that I use, and I'll explain why I use it. This came up on stream the other day and I will show it off. Alright, in order to demonstrate what I'm talking about, we are going to put ourselves in a Git repo. Spoilers, this has to do with Git. What does markdown have to do with Git? Anyway, we're going to make a markdown file and I'm going to do it wrong first and show you why it's improved when I do it in the way that I usually do it, which is I'm going to make a little markdown file, you know, hello world. We're going to put a little numbered list in here where we have to do, maybe it's a to-do list, I don't know. No, it's just going to be, we're just going to make a very silly list that means nothing. Yeah. A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, that's a great numbered list. Okay, so we have a numbered list here. We're going to add it to our repo. And we have started with a markdown file. Oh, I didn't do my usual empty initial commit. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm also going to render this just so you can see that it renders properly. Markdown code blocks. This is a thing that I wrote at some point to better render code blocks in markdown things by using pigments. Anyway, it works. We get a numbered list and we get our little header at the top. Okay, but what I wanted to show you is, oh, I just killed the browser. Okay, that's fine. What I wanted to show you is the problem that happens when you go to edit this list and how that appears in your Git history. So if we were to edit this list, let's say that we realized, oh shoot, we actually need to do something between B and C. We actually need to do a thing called B.5. It's this new letter that they've invented. And that means we have to go through and renumber this whole list. And so if we get, look at our diff here, it's a lot less clear what's being edited here, and we've disrupted git blame on these particular lines here, which is not great. Note that this still, you know, obviously if we highlight this and run it in the browser, this time in the background, you can see we're still rendering it properly. Everything's still working fine there. But the problem here, or like the micro problem here, is that because we used a incrementing numbered list, we had to renumber the whole thing when we added or inserted or removed a step. And so that's going to disrupt blame in our Git repo. However, if we do this the other way around, let's see, we'll replace beginning with number with 1. So they're all 1s. Let's assume that we did this in the first place. Trust. And now if we were to do that same operation again, so also note that we highlight this and we look at it in the browser, you'll see that it is still numbered properly, even though all of the numbers inside of our markdown file were 1. So this still works. It still renders properly, but you can now, if we were to insert a step, so let's say we inserted that B.5 step, our diff is really nice and simple. It is very obvious that we are just adding a simple step here. We didn't have to do any renumbering. You know, adding and removing steps completely preserves blame here. And of course, if we highlight this now, let's see, we can insert a step, and it works great. The one caveat to this is, or I guess one of the like oddities of this is, you can actually change the first number if you want, if you need to. So some people get a little memey and start their lists with 0 sometimes. So if you do the same thing with this now, you can see that we can actually start our list at a different number. And kind of the reason for this, or like one of the reasons that this works really well, is, well, you can't see it because it's really small, but trust that there's a OL tag, an ordered list tag here, and it has a start equals 0. And then really all of the steps in the list are just LIs. They don't actually list items. They don't actually contain the number themselves. And so when translating the list to HTML, only the first number is important in sort of your markdown list here. I don't think you can do negative numbers. It doesn't seem to highlight there, so I'm guessing that doesn't work. I don't know why you would have a negative number in a list. Yeah, that doesn't work, of course. But if you, I don't know, if you wanted to start your list at 6 for some reason, that will also work here. The one caveat, or at least the one like criticism that I've seen to this is like, if you need to reference like, oh, look at step 2, then it might be slightly more difficult to do it this way. But I feel like if you're referencing another step, you probably would do better to have like an anchor, a clickable anchor that takes you to that step and say, in a previous step, link. But, you know, this is why I always do once. Anyway, hopefully you found this useful. If there's additional things you would like me to explain, leave a comment below or reach out to me on the various platforms. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.